Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608, and today I am playing StarMade. And we are back with my rail miner, and I forgot exactly what I was doing because it has been a few days since I've played the game. But I do know what I am doing at this point. I want a way to control the mining head, whether it's on or off. So let's see. See, how many blocks was that in? That was 3 in. 3. Alright. 3. Yeah. So let's rip that out and do something like, there we go. Got a little bit of symmetry there. And we'll have these control panels. And I would like to make this overly complicated. So, we're going to have a button here to a flip-flop, and the flip-flop to the knot. Why are you making this overly complicated? Aren't you just going to attach a wireless to that wireless? Yes, but I don't know what else I want it to do yet. So I'm going to set a flip-flop for it just in case I need it to do something else in the future. Alright, so future-proofing. That's what we're doing. Alright, so we need to connect C on this block. And we need to hop down there, so I'm going to use my admin magic to jump. And V on this block. Alright. So this controls whether or not it's going to move back and forth. Alright. I think. So let's hit F1, F8. Let me remember what I did. So this is controlling whether or not it's moving. We want to go down. We want to hit that one, maybe? Yeah, there we go. We're going to have to figure out how to automate all this better. And the actual mining head will not be moving this fast. Good grief, I shouldn't have allowed so much time to go in between recordings. I forgot what I was doing. But when it hits here, it should activate that one and do all the logic-y stuff we did last time to drop it down how many ever. And there we go. Now, if I have this turned off, if this is turned off, this is the return. If I'm not mistaken, that's what this was. So, where's the display module? I need to start labeling these things. We're going to go here. Return on off. Alright. Another reason for the flip-flop controlling this and the button and all that is so I can have other logic things control from the outside without having to hit that button specifically. So now when it hits, it should not... The return should be off. There we go. I hit that button, the return is on, so it keeps moving. Alright! And now we're going to force it to go force a return. Okay. And we want to set it going up. Okay, why is that? Oh, because I don't have... There's my rail speed control to that one. Okay, so some other things we want to do. I want to check to see if this is at its top, or if this has gone to the hit the top rail, then I probably want to toggle that. So actually it'd be easier if I do something like this, a button, and then have this button hit the top rail. So let's turn that on. Let's tell it to go down. I'll tell it to go up. And that just toggled and turned off the rail speed controller. Alright. No, that's not a good idea. Let's not do that. No setting. So, yeah, this needs to be controlled better. Rail speed controller, I need an override here. So, I'm thinking. Leave me alone. I want the return on. There we go. And let's slide you backwards. So when it hits there, it triggers logic-y stuff that sends a signal here to when to move down. Alright. Just making sure I re-understand all this. So let's slide them up. Let's turn off the return. And let's turn that on. Alright. And I want you to be going that way. There we go. Alright. So I would like a way to turn on and off this without messing things up. So let's have an OR signal feeding into this instead of, oh, okay, can't do that. What, you just control that rail. Yeah, alright, so we're going to move you. You're going to go to an OR. The OR is going to go to this, and where's my rail speed controller? Rail speed controller. There we go, 6. It's going to go here. You aren't going to control you, but you're going to control you, and you control all those. So let's get down, that up. So why'd you have an OR here? So I can have a secondary input. So, I have a second input. I don't want that, I want this one controlling that one. So now the rail speed controller will either turn on with the clock or with the activation module here. Do I really want to do it like that, though? No, we're gonna pull that, and we're just gonna have that extra OR there, so I know there's a connection node there. Alright. For right now. Okay, so we're gonna need to map out some of the behaviors I want. I want a return button. So let's create a return function. Let's see. Does it go all the way? It doesn't go all the way. Actually, yes, it does go all the way because those are going to be solid. Alright. So it's going to go all the way. Right. So let's see. This is going to be return. Carriage return. Let's see. We're going to have a button. And we're going to want to unload. Return head to 0, 0. Top left looking at it being 0, 0. I guess we could figure out what they all are. But anyway. 0, 0. And this is going to feed into a flip-flop control. Or is it? No, this one's not going to feed into a flip-flop. This one, however, is going to go to a down here control. There we go. And what needs to happen when return is hit? Well, I need to go up, so we need to trigger that. Actually, no. This does need to be a button. And a flip-flop. There we go, flip-flop and a not. So the state is, it is returning, and it is not returning. Okay. So if it is returning, we need an activation module coming down here. Activation module. And we're just going to put this one out here for ease of wiring. And I want it to hit this OR, so it'll force that to go this way. I also want it to go up. Why is it down on the top? So we have it going down. I hit this button. That's the carriage return. I hit this button. and it forces up. All right. And I also want this to control carriage return is going to be what? That one? This one. To hit this button. So, is that right? Yeah. Actually, I should really set these up so it hits the it's the appropriate, so it hits the light right, so it does the flip-flop. So, this button, and so this is going to go to the vertical control. This one is to, right, that one's fine doing the speed, rail speed controller. Then I need one that's going to check to see not and. So, if this is not, we feed both of those into this and is going to hit the flip-flop, right? Oh, we need to, there we go. That's the other way around. I want this one to feed into the, not that one. All right. Wait a minute, why is that? Oh, stop that. Not getting into that. And into that one. Why aren't you changing anything? There we go. Ah, I just had to reset my logic. All right, so if it's moving down, I hit this, well, that just toggled the rail speed controller, but it should actually toggle that. All right. So there is the proper-ish way to set it to go back up. And I need to set this a similar unit for going sideways. And see which one is the flip-flop this way. It needs to be this. So if that is not, then this needs to trigger the flip-flop. I think that's the way this works. So that is not, there we go. And that is not firing anything, so we need to see that's moving up and left. All right, so if we set it to down and right, I should be able to hit this button, and it should hit this button a couple times to make sure everything's hunky-dory. It should set it up and left. So, all right, so that is working. Except I want this activation to come down this way a bit, and this way a bit. We're going to hide all types of logic back here. And it's going to come to here-ish, and I want this to come here, and you to hit this flip-flop. So when it hits to the top, it turns off, or so when that fires, it fires this button which toggles the return off. So what that's going to look like is, let's turn you on, and let's go down, turn on carriage return. There you go. So now it's moving like so. All of a sudden I want to hit carriage return, or return the thing to the top. The problem is I need to turn off carriage return. Right, so this needs to also turn off carriage return. So it's going to need an and not here. And so here to here to here, and this here. All right. Now what needs to feed into the... All right, other way around. You need to feed in there. There we go, and that turns off the carriage return. All right. And the carriage return being when it hits to the end, it advances. So that was horrible and convoluted, but this is not a tutorial. This is me working through it, thinking out loud. All right. If you'd like a tutorial, go bother Ben Sherlinscap or somebody like that. Anywho, I have been JW608, and this has been me messing around with logic to get this rotten thing to work. Anywho, I will see you later.